When you're chilling out in the evening, trying to watch something nice, you could watch New York City artists and Tess chit-chat about life. And Tess talk, Tess talk, Tess talks at Culture Lab.
Hi, Culture Lab community. Welcome back to another Tess Talk. Today we have Cristián Pietrapiana, the curator and artist of Weather Report. Thank you for being here, Cristián.
Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Culture Lab, for having me.
So, Cristián, tell us a little bit about your process for this exhibition.
It's been 5 years in the making.
Wow.
As you probably know, I used to paint large canvases, basically nudes, landscapes. And then I started reading Bill McKibben, Elizabeth Colbert, Alan Weisman, and so on. And one day I was reading the New York Times, and I usually underline or circle or highlight things that I find important. I found myself making little drawings, and at one point I was like, well, this looks interesting. I can do something with this. And that's how this started. Basically, they are interventions, I call them. Most of them are in the New York Times. Some of them are Argentinian newspapers or Italian, The Guardian. What do I also have? El Mercurio from Chile. And I do these interventions, whether it's drawing, some of them have painting, most of them have patterns of line done. I don't want to sound either ambitious or pompous, because I don't consider myself to be that way. But in a way, it's an invitation for the viewer to read the news, ultimately, get informed, see what's around the news. If there's an ad, what is that ad trying to sell you? And making connections. And the ultimate goal is for people to think independently and critically. If you look at the show, whether it's one piece or the whole entire grid, I think they have two ways of reading it or viewing it. From a distance, you can see it formally and look at the composition and color and patterns and all those formal things of art. Or you can dive into one particular piece and see what's written there from the newspaper. And that's a different reading for the viewers.
Yeah.
And they can choose.
I love that, because for myself, the first sweep is that, right? Just seeing the compositions, the way you've put the colors together, the storytelling. There's one panel in particular where there's sort of a vine going through a head that just has stuck with me. But then also, as a viewer, if you do the dive in, it's exciting. You can see where you've specifically kind of left blank spaces, where we have these little windows through the art into the verbiage that was in the papers.
Yes.
It's really gorgeous.
They're little vignettes, you got it. Yeah. The rest is all whitewashed.
Yeah.
Which happens in reality as well.
Yes. And you did also do you worked with students in your practice.
I was very lucky and I'm very grateful. It's not the first time that I worked with students from Middle College High School right here in Long Island City. They've been to previous exhibitions of mine, also here at Culture Lab. And this year we had a fantastic group of teachers and students, and they were all from their environmental science class.
Wow.
The teachers put together what they learned in science, and they came and spent a whole morning here at the gallery, and they had an activity, and they were engaged, and they were asking questions, and they were thinking. And connecting all the concepts, which was fantastic. For me, it was such a joy.
Wow. Will you continue to make this type of work?
I will continue to do this, definitely. I'm also into all the gun control and corruption, but climate change, if you ask me, it's such a huge overarching crisis that I don't feel comfortable not taking advantage of every possible platform out there to make it part of the conversation. Because it's not about coming here, you're not going to get depressed. It's about talking about it, because we're all in this together. And we are all the cause of this, and we can hopefully find a solution. So it's making it part of the conversation. In the gallery, at home, at school, with your friends. We have two powers in society, if you ask me, at least in this one, to vote and do your homework, see who you vote for, and you have the power of the wallet. What are you going to buy? And who's behind that? Are these corporations that greenwash climate change? Are these corporations that abuse the production of plastics? That's our responsibility.
Yeah. Would you recommend to some of our viewers who maybe are not as, not aware, but kind of feel like there's nothing they can do? You know, is there resources that you could?
There are resources. You can always go online. I would start by going to your city council, your state representative. They all have a web page, and see what they're doing regarding climate change. You can always eat less meat, take shorter showers, take care of water. That's going to be a huge, huge problem.
Yeah.
It is already. And talk about it at home. If you go to school, talk about it with your teachers, and they will be very happy to bring it to the classroom.
That's amazing. I feel like your exhibition not only presents us with a beautiful artistic journey, but also with a journey of learning and ultimately conversation with ourselves.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for being on this episode of Tess Talks. Cristián
Pietrapiana.
Cristián Pietrapiana has been on Tess Talks this week, and we can't wait to see what else comes our way from you in the art world.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Culture Lab.
Anytime.
Thank you.